Could you cut the audio feed, please? Nine nine nine. All right. The bailiff has indicated that you might have been exposed. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice long lunch. I want to ask before.
Sheriff's Office.
Deputy Christopher Ellis.
Yeah, Your Honor, maybe bring audio.
Oh, yes, of course.
Step up, please. Can you raise your right hand and report this one?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and
Good afternoon. Inquiry.
All right. Good afternoon, Dr. Ellis. Are you a doctor? All right. Deputy Ellis, could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
I'm Deputy Ellis, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been employed in law enforcement?
I've been involved in law enforcement for 9 years. I worked for Charlotte County for 2.
Could you give us your first name?
Oh, sorry, Christopher Ellis.
And what are the different divisions you've worked in, or units that you've worked in?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
What are the different units that you've worked in law enforcement?
I worked in Louisville, Kentucky for Louisville Metro Police Department. Worked in for 5 years. With them, I did a little bit of the division level task force team, apprehending subjects and drug traffickers. Moved to Florida, worked for Bradenton Police Department, and then now work for Charlotte County.
All right, Deputy Ellis, I want to direct your attention to a specific date. On November 14th of 2023 in the morning time, did you respond to an address, a residence in Port Charlotte, based upon a report you received that the defendant made statements that if deputies made him get in the car with his mom, he would kill her?
Yes,
And where was that statement made? Where was the defendant when he made that statement?
at the Charlotte County Jail.
And was that on the day prior to you responding to the residence?
Yes.
The morning of November 14th, describe to the jury the reason for you responding to their residence.
I received my sergeant received a call and stated that the defendant had made a statement that he was going to kill his mom if he was forced to get into the car with her. We went to the residence, the defendant's residence, spoke with him, ultimately placing him under a Baker Act.
Then what was the reason that you placed him under a Baker Act?
From the statement saying that he was going to kill his mom at the jail and just speaking with him not knowing what he was going to do while he was at the home with his mom.
Now, were you wearing a body cam when you interacted with the defendant and his mom at the residence?
Yes.
And was Corporal Joey Shaw also with you?
Yes.
And did your body cam capture some footage of your interaction and Corporal Shaw speaking to the defendant?
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to see State Exhibit 194 briefly before court today?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time the State would move State 194 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received.
And with the court's permission, if I may publish that, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. John, this should be John.
White shirt, 21 by the corridor for Catherine and Griffith of 202 Victoria Avenue, Port Charlotte, Dallas 39 425 31.
Hey, somebody's moving.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how
How you guys doing?
Good. Is Colin home?
Yeah, you guys can come on in. He's doing standing marches. He's not a happy camper right now. You can put your marching bells on.
What's up, man? What are you doing?
He's doing standing marches as a form of discipline ever since he got home. I have that right there recording it so you can see everything. I'm sorry? Do what? Just so you know, it's being recorded because as soon as he got home, I had to start doing standing marches.
Is that working?
I mean, he beat the shit out of me last night, so
Right.
this is his form of discipline for.
That's something for a different side.
Can we?
We'll go
Just gonna talk to him a little, okay? Just. I want to talk to him real quick. Just figure out what happened.
So what's going on? Last night, me and my mom got into a physical altercation. I got arrested for domestic battery, but when it comes to judge today, I have right to public defender and see how that goes.
Okay. So how is the situation with you and mom right now? Are things calmed down?
No,
you guys
no,
know what's going wrong? Where are we at?
No, sir, it's not good. She thinks that I beat the shit out of her. I don't. She thinks that I'm like psychotic, like literally psychopath, sociopath, something like that. I don't know exactly where she's at. She thinks I'm going to kill her. I want to kill her. That I want to beat the shit out of her.
Do you?
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt anyone, let alone my mom. You expect this to happen, but I'm not going to take what I consider abuse when someone's attacking me. And
How is she attacking you? What
when she
kind of abuse are we
attacked me, when she threw a punch at me and grabbed on me, I grabbed on her back. I got her off of me. She hit the ground, and then I fled and called Rentis, and then he sent someone out.
You called who?
Rentis, Detective Rentis.
Okay. So basically, what we came back is when the jail was releasing you to your mom this morning. Was there anything said then?
Yeah, I said that I didn't really feel safe there with myself and with her, and that I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen.
As far as what?
Her attacking me or her doing something to herself or me.
Okay. What about you doing something to her? Are you able to control yourself?
I'm in a constant state of fight or flight, and I don't know. If I think she's going to do something, even if she's not, I might act. I'm not going to go crazy or anything, but I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay.
You're not sure if you're going to hurt your mom?
Only if she tries to hurt me.
Okay. Did you make any statement saying that you were going to kill
No,
your
sir.
mom if
No, sir.
you got in the car with her?
No,
I'm trying to figure out why we would have a corporal at the jail that took you out, that dropped you off with your mom, and telling us that you said, "Don't put me in the car with her. I'm going to kill her."
Yeah.
Was that said?
I did not say I was going to kill her. I did not say kill. I don't know why he sent me back here. I asked him not to, but he said he didn't like my attitude, and that I had to just look. But his words not mine.
Okay. What we're trying to figure out, we just want to make sure we do everything we can to prevent anything happening.
Sir, given the situation, I don't think that we should be in the same house at all.
Somebody else, at the conclusion of your interaction with the defendant, did you Baker act on that same shortly thereafter?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Thornhill?
That's them.
How long had Collin been home from the jail when you all arrived at the house?
I have no idea.
You don't know when the sergeant from the jail called to make this report?
No, ma'am. I just received the information from my sergeant.
So he could have been home for hours by the time you got there.
Possible.
Possible? When you first walked in to the home, Collin was standing with two weights over his head and doing marching in place, correct?
Just one.
Just one weight?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, one weight. And Kathy Griffith had indicated to you that she had been making him do that since he got home from the jail, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If Collin had wanted to kill her, unprovoked, unattacked, he could have hit her in the head with that weight that he was holding over his head, couldn't he?
It's possible.
He could have done something while they were driving home in the car together, right?
Possible.
But he didn't do any of those things that you're aware of.
Yes, ma'am.
And he told you repeatedly that he didn't want to do anything to his mom, but that if she attacked him or if she came at him, that he would do something in response to her attacking him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Redirect?
Deputy Ellis, would it be smart to murder someone in a house that's got video cameras in every room?
No.
I don't have anything further on.
Is the witness released?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Thornhill?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Next witness?
Your Honor, the state calls Detective Danny Peters, of the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
Ask the please, Mr. Building.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony given in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
Hello again.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Levine.
Detective Peters, we left off with your portion of the testimony yesterday afternoon. We concluded with the ring video footage from September 7th, 2024, which was a Saturday. Is that correct?
Correct.
And at that point that the defendant had left the house and Kathy was in the house by herself, correct?
Correct.
Is there also an exhibit in the form of 198 that captures some clips from Sunday, September 8th?
There is.
Was that the day that Kathy died?
Yes.
Later that day?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move state 198 into evidence and ask that it be played for the jury.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received. You may publish.
Thank you. Is this clip at least from the early morning hours of Sunday, September 8th?
Yes.
No, you told me you were calling him. You told me you were going to get your neighbor over there, or I'm sending the police. Do you want the police to go? Then you'd rather have the police, right? Okay, that's fine. So when I need it, I will not take a call from you after this ever again. If Colin's not here by 10 o'clock, I'm dead to you. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Yes or no? I need a yes or no. Yes or no? Do you understand me? Okay. You don't understand. On your little, you want a copy of the pink piece of paper that shows it? Call me. Call Detective Lacey. Call him. So are you returning home or no? Look at the pictures. Okay, it doesn't matter. You were knowing with me, and you lied to me while we were here. I said, do you have him? You said no, and I don't know where he is. You said that to me. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you still don't have eyes on him. He's talked to you. No, he's already talked to you because I can see where you guys have been talking. So if he's not here by 10 o'clock, I'm sending the cops. Oh, it is. It is. We're all losing our jobs, and he's losing everything. That's why I signed the car over myself. I need the money. So I'm taking the car. I'm taking everything. So I'm about to go up there and go and get the car because the car is mine. I have it in my name. The mobile notary came. I don't have to send you copies. I already sent you the title. I already sent you a picture of the title, and you already saw what it looked like. So I'm not going to sit here. Okay, then you need to go back to the pictures because you also said you don't have the pink picture that shows it. You also said that you don't show the call records and that you believe Collin, even though he's there at your house. So you're illegally the wall. Tell him your house, and then he has to go back. Is that correct? No. I'm asking you a specific question. Have you told him he needs to go back to this house? No. Did you tell him he needs to be back home to this house by 10 a.m.? And he needs to vacate your house and he does not have permission to be at your home? No.
That's what I told him.
Okay. Okay, and that's not what he did. He called me and he said, he completely blocked me, and he's completely removed himself from his Apple ID so that he cannot be tracked. So, right on that. No, his phone is off. His phone is off now. I told you that. I said if he didn't get in the car and come home, that was what was going to happen. And you said I will make sure he is there by 10 a.m. I told you I was going to if you didn't do this. No, that's not what I said. His phone is still on right now. His service is working. He's not going to answer. He's not going to answer. I showed you. Oh, stop. Will you listen to me? Do you see the call log? He did not try to call Monique at all yesterday. He is lying to you. I sent you his entire call log. That's from AT&T. That's not from his iCloud account. That's from AT&T. That's not what the court order said. It said he specifically has to leave a voicemail. But it doesn't matter because if he doesn't, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, I have held everybody off. I said it's a private family matter. I'm sure he'll be back home. And everybody said, we'll give him 24 hours. That is until 10 o'clock today, Mom. That's why I said he had until 10 a.m. today. Mom, it doesn't matter. They gave me until 10 a.m. The police. I'm not speaking to you anymore. Either my son is in my driveway at 10 a.m. or we're not talking anymore. Okay, that's fine. You don't want to talk to me? That's fine. Goodbye. Computer, and I said, fine, come and get it. I told him to be back after work. It's on the fucking camera! I don't give a shit. I don't give a flying fuck. Did I tell you to let him stay at your house? Did I tell you to let him stay at your house? Have I or have I not told you multiple times in the past that he is never to stay at your house ever again? Not without my consent. And I have not consented. Do you hear me? Yeah, Collin. Answer to me. Answer me. Do you understand that you do not have my consent to have Collin? Do you understand that? No, answer my question. Do you understand? No, I didn't. I never threw him out, and it's on the ring camera. Never threw him out. Never threw him out. Never throw them out. I didn't. You do not have my permission to have Collin in your home. Collin needs to be returned to me immediately. If when you arrive at your home, Collin is at your home, please inform him he is released immediately. If neither of those things happen, and I find out that he is still in your custody, I am standing in front of my ring camera having this conversation with you on speakerphone. I expect Collin to be here back in my house. If he's not back by 10 a.m., I'm going to take it if you are holding him hostage and not getting him back to me. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye. I'll go with you, and I can drive your car, or you can drive the other gentleman on the spot. And I was like, okay. So his aunt lives there. I tried to go in, looked, it's not, his car isn't there. So I don't know where he parked it, where he put it. I don't know because I sent a text that said, hey, I'm selling your car. He decided to drive off with it. That was stupid because I'm signing this over to them, and they said that they'll just report it stolen. So if he's caught, it's guilty. So also, in order for him to have a driver's license, I have to give my consent. Okay, otherwise they have to wait until they're 18. The fact that his name is on the title is there. But come on, Cass. Come on, Cass. Collin Griffith. I'm actually Collin Griffith's mom. I was just calling to confirm, did Collin quit yesterday? Collin Griffith, yeah, when he called in, I know he didn't show up to work yesterday. Did he quit yesterday as well? I just need to know. Is there a way to find out for me? This is his mom, because he hasn't come home. So we're trying to find him. Yeah. Yeah, I talked that Brett. Talk to you. Nothing call me back. Okay. Yeah, I need to know Collin told him that he was quitting or what he said. Collin is missing and hasn't been home in almost 24 hours. Okay, thank you. Thank you. his phone turned on. But he won't, and that's the problem. He's had it turned on Do Not Disturb. He called me at 7:32 this morning and talked to me for 56 seconds and told me I was a crazy psychotic bitch and he wasn't leaving and that he was going to stay there with Mama and that that's not a violation of his probation. He sent him a picture. Like, if he's sending you all these things, did he send you the pink picture that I sent to him that shows specifically, like, the pink sheet of paper they gave me that says he can leave the county to go visit his grandma? But it doesn't say he can leave the county to go visit his grandma. And that's what he thinks it means. And he thinks it means without my permission, he can just leave and go and do that. Oh, yeah, it's not good. No, it doesn't, because I specifically said, how are you going to live on your own? No, right. He even told our girls, no, I'm not leaving when I turn 18. You and I both know. Yes, I'm to leave. This is all. I guess I'm just busy. If you tell me, just sit back and stay with your mom. Go sit and eat. I go. Piece of shit that drives me crazy, or we're not. So he wants to do this. He wants to go to court. That's what he wants. He wants it. That's what he wants. I didn't change my phone. No, I changed the voicemail to say that nobody could call me. That was all I did. No, Mom, you're a fucking moron. My phone was never disconnected because if you would have tried to send a text, it would have showed you that it would have gone through. I went onto YouTube, pressed play for the. I didn't go to the house. We already showed. He didn't show up to work yesterday. And I said, "Want to know where he went? The movies. I'll show you the receipt. He went to the movie theater. And you know what he's been doing all day while he's at your house? Because it's showing up every time he takes a screenshot of it on his iPad account. He's playing video games, killing people. And I send those screenshots to you. So tell me how he's better off at your house where he's killing people. Pretend and making fun of it. And kidnapping them and having them tied to little chairs while he tortures them and kills them with other people in this little game scenario that he has. I sent you pictures of the screenshots where they're. I'm calling you right now. No, you're not! Because I'm driving out there. Listen to me. I'm going to be there before you. So it's going to go down before you even get there. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you can call Collin and tell him to run, or try to run, because I'm coming out there, I'm getting in the car is sold. He can either get in the car with me and come back home, or he can call, and then you better tell him that he needs to give me a goddamn phone call in 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes. Because he's answering your calls, he's not answering mine. He's answering Lacey's, not answering mine. He has me blocked. Are you going to call my son and tell him what I just told you? Call him and call me back.
Thanks for calling. State your name, number, and then the play call. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Collin. This is your mom. I am just calling you because I know you talked to Detective Lacey. She told you that you needed to be home today, and apparently you said, no, you're not coming home. And so I guess you were explaining the situation, and that if you don't come home, you are going to be charged with violating your probation. So I'm just warning you, I am on my way to you to pick you up because you're not allowed to stay away from me like this. You're not allowed to be at Mama's house, and I have every right to come and pick you up. So I'm coming to pick you up. You can get in the car, or not get in the car. Run away. Up to you.
Okay, yeah. All right. I did. Okay, it doesn't matter. Check your text. Okay, because it never said that via text. So how fucking fun with it? I'm on my way. Oh, you get a gate code or no? Do I need to wait for the police to get there? Okay, we'll see. We'll see. It actually is less. Go ahead. He has work from 4:30 to 8 today. 4:30 to 8:30. So, yeah. He has 9 minutes to call and tell me that. I mean, I'm getting in the car right now. I mean, I'm peeing. Then I'm getting back in the car, and I'm going to hit him up. And if once I'm in the car, he hasn't called me and told me anything, but that's not how it works, because he still has to go see Monique, and he sent Monique an email saying that he knows he violated his probation. You have, and it's 2:53. It's less than 7 minutes. Goodbye. He's not there. He hung up. He won't answer when I call, so good luck. I tell him to do this replay. Tell him to do this. I thought he was going to work. No. I don't throw him out all the time. That's a lie. So you plan on going to there and telling them that I throw him out all the time?
Was the last video that the jury saw the last video that captured Kathy alive?
Yes.
And did she leave the house in the clothes that she would die in?
Yes.
And did she have the brownish yellowish Kate Spade backpack purse kind of over her shoulder?
She did.
And did you see that at the crime scene?
I did.
Was it soaked in blood?
It had blood on it, yes.
Now, let's switch subject matter for a moment now. Done with the videos, going to text messages. I believe you mentioned yesterday the basic process of getting forensic downloads and information off the cell phones. Were you able to, from those cell phones, something called a Cellbrite extraction report, generate a Cellbrite extraction report that detailed text messages on September 7th and September 8th?
Yes.
Describe to the jury a little bit, what does that mean, a Cellbrite extraction report?
It's just a report that's generated from the program that's used to download the phones through our computer crimes division.
From that, were you able to basically see all of the text messages between Kathy and the defendant on those last 2 days, the Saturday, September 7th and Sunday, September 8th?
Yes.
Were you also able to see the text messages between Kathy and her mom, Susan?
Yes.
And as the timeline kind of continues, and we'll focus obviously on those 2 days, would there be periodically photographs or pictures or attachments that Kathy would send to either her mom and or her son?
Yes.
And then some of those were you able to kind of click on and print out?
Yes, I was.
Some of them, for some reason, is the pixelation such that you can't really see what it is for whatever reason?
Right. So some of the photographs, when you try to enhance them, they wouldn't enhance like through high definition. It would be completely pixelated, and you wouldn't be able to tell what was in the photograph.
As far as you can tell, though, was there anything of major importance that you weren't able to see?
No.
Now, have you had an opportunity to see State Exhibit 188, which is the Cellbrite reports containing text messages and some photos from September 7th through September 8th between Kathy and her son?
Yes.
And were those obtained off of the defendant's cell phone?
Yes.
So is it a fair statement, even though that it was not possible to get a download from Kathy's phone, you were still able to see the content of the conversation because the defendant's phone was able to be downloaded?
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, the State would move State Exhibit 188 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received.
And then 196, Detective Peters, is that a similar exhibit but from Susan Detman's phone?
Yes.
And does that show text message conversations between Kathy and Susan?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, at this time, the State would move State Exhibit 196 in evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received.
And for the record, that includes the text messages from September 8th between the two ladies, correct?
Correct.
Now, from watching the videos, is it a fair statement that sometimes you can actually see Kathy sending texts or taking photos and then sending them to her mom or to the defendant?
It appears that she's texting and sending photos to someone in that moment.
And conversation-wise, are you able to see some things that Kathy refers to her mom, text messages that she sent as well, and subject matter that she was sending off to her son, the defendant?
Yes.
Now, did you come across, or did one of your expert computer crimes detectives come across a text message of note that was brought to your attention about an additional motive that the defendant had to kill his mom?
Yes.
Tell the jury just briefly, how did that come to your attention?
So, early morning on the 9th of September, I received a phone call from our computer crimes detective who was going through the download and explained to me they found an interesting text message that I needed to be aware of.
After reviewing that, were you able to create an exhibit within an exhibit, so to say, meaning you isolated that specific text message and it was able to show the date and the time?
I did.
All right, we'll start with that, and then we'll backtrack to the text message conversations between Kathy and her son and Kathy and her mom.
Okay.
For the record, this is a composite 188. I'll bring this to you so you can read it to the jury, but for their benefit, just so they can see visually what it looks like, we'll put it on the Elmo here. All right, this is basically a cover page of the Cellbrite extraction report.
Yes.
And then is that how it generally looks in terms of you can figure out the date, the time, who sent it, who received it, and the content of the text message?
Yes, it does.
And if I may approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Detective Peters, the jury will obviously have the benefit of this in the deliberation room to look at it up close. But if you could please... Actually, before I get to that, mirroring that text message, were you able to also get a screenshot? Actually, if I may approach please, Your Honor? Thank you. And I'm going to show it's also part of the composite 188 so the jury can see, and then you'll be able to explain it further. If you could please, Detective Peters, explain to the jury those 3 screenshots. What are those pictures of?
These screenshots are photographs of conversation between Catherine and Collin.
And at the top of the screen, what's the picture and name?
The picture is of Catherine Griffith, and underneath it says Mom.
And whose phone did that come off of?
Collin Griffith's phone.
And how did you actually obtain a picture like that?
These photographs were copied in a screenshot format that was in the photographs.
So you were able to get screenshots of the defendant's phone conversation with his mom, is that correct?
Yes.
And is that the text, the full text conversation regarding another one of the motives the defendant had?
Yes.
All right. If you could please read the full context of the text message.
Do you want me to read this one or the cell-right?
The one in your right hand is the full one.
Okay.
But before you get there, can you tell the jury, according to the Cellbrite report, is that sent by the mom to her son, the defendant?
Yes.
And a time that it was sent and or typed?
Yes.
What's the time?
The time is 12:02 p.m.
And that would be on Sunday, September
Correct.
8th?
September 8th, 2024.
And then on the cell phone, what does it say? The time?
12:29.
All right. So at or between 12:02 and 12:29, the message is sent, typed, received. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. If you could, go ahead and read the full content of the text message.
Okay. Begins, the car isn't there, not sure what you did, but it's being sold as we speak, the CarMax, for $15,600. Unless you'd like to reply to my text and tell me you're driving home right now, period. Didn't think so. It's a felony to drive a stolen car without insurance, and if you wreck it, that's it. How much are you going to lose before you stop, Collin? ? I feel like you were trying to make me like your dad by talking away privileges, but you violated your probation, violated the rules of the house, and now you won't answer me. My mom or the cops, you've left me with no choice. Collin, the recordings of you admitting to killing blank and planning the murder, there are 4 different instances from my Ring camera, are all going to Bob, Susie, Amanda, and Chris at 3 p.m. today. Plus the recovered audio from blank's iCloud where you told your blank you hated me and I was an evil bitch are being sent to. My dad is sending his recordings of you telling him how you planned my murder back in February. Audio, video, email, text, and phone recordings are being sent. For the record, no, you cannot have a single one. Your attorney can request them. Good luck hiring a good one. And this goes into the next screenshot. Because the 751 clearly states I have to be medically incapable of caring for you, and I am not. You can keep hiding and running away from me. It is illegal for your grandmother to allow you to stay at an empty house 3 hours away when she was in Summerlin Key, which was on speaker and recorded as saying, I almost had an Amber Alert issued until she admitted after midnight you were in Auburndale, which is why I agreed to give you until 10 a.m. to cool down and come home, but I made it very clear you didn't come home. I legally don't have a choice but to report you as a runaway. Mama complained about you in February, you threatened her in February, but all of a sudden you go back to her and she takes you in, and I'm supposed to just let her steal you when I'm legally responsible and now in trouble for not reporting you as a runaway last night and waiting until this morning. That's not how this works. I'm giving the police your number, Mama's number, and DCF's all numbers now. They also have all 3 addresses. Also, Freddie is not registered in Polk County. And this goes over to the 3rd screenshot, and I have to go down to where it begins. Also, Freddie is not registered in Polk County with a dog tag. That's a fine, and Mama owes taxes on her other trailer she sold in the same neighborhood. Her HOA doesn't like you or her. The police are going to bring you home, or DCFs will take you and eventually bring you home. Either way, you fucked up and list your chance to get off probation by October 5th, 2024. All because you didn't want to help me mount a bookshelf that took under 30 minutes. Weed eat the backyard and clean your room because bugs were in the candy that you had all over. Remember, you chose this. You have 10 minutes to call me and fix this, Collin. I'm signing this title and handing over the keys now.
So, Detective Peters, that was roughly around 12 and 12:30 in the afternoon, correct?
Correct.
And Kathy would end up dead with a 911 call around 6:14 that same day, correct?
Yes.
So roughly around 6 hours later. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I want to focus for a minute on the main part of that text. Collin, the recordings of you admitting to killing, you said blank?
Blank.
Did you? Right, but
That's
she mentions the name, correct?
Correct.
And planning the murder, there are 4 different instances from my Ring camera are all going to Bob, Susie, Amanda, and Chris at 3 p.m. today. So is she threatening him to expose him for him admitting to her that the killing previously was actually a planned murder?
That's what the text message indicates, yes.
And then was she also planning on sending recordings of the defendant calling her an evil bitch?
Yes.
Was she also threatening that her dad would be sending his recordings of the defendant telling him, the dad, meaning the grandpa, that the defendant planned his mom's murder back in February?
Yes.
Now, was it clear from your review of everything that on the September 7th, or more so on the September 8th date, I guess, but that the defendant was having much more contact, like speaking to his grandma, than with his mom?
Yes.
And was Kathy hopeful that her mom would pass on information that Kathy wanted Collin to know?
Yes.
With the hope of what was Kathy's hope stated over and over? What was she trying to accomplish? Did Kathy say on multiple occasions that she wanted or demanded that Collin return home by 10 a.m. on Sunday?
Yes.
Did she make any threats whatsoever of physical violence to the defendant in any of the text messages or phone calls?
No, not that I read.
Did she make a bunch of threats that doesn't appear she followed through on, such as canceling his phone service or shutting it down?
Yeah, it appeared she made threats to close it down permanently, but it was on and off sporadically.
Did she make threats to cancel his car insurance?
Yes.
Did she make threats to sell his car?
Yes.
Did she make threats at some point to take him out of school or disenroll him?
Yes.
Now, turning to State 196, did she also send a similar text message to Susan, explaining to Susan, her mom, that she was going to be turning over videos of the defendant admitting to killing the person and planning the murder from the year prior?
Yeah, she wasn't getting the response from the defendant, so she texted the same text message just advising her to tell him the same text that I read.
And I'm going to approach with State Exhibit 196. But before I do that, we'll stay just to be able to show the jury visually what it looks like. The cover page is at the Cellbrite report, where basically it goes in chronological order: date, time, who sent the message, who received the message, and the content of the message.
Yes.
And of course, this exhibit I reference is the text messages on September 8th between Kathy and Susan. Is that correct?
Correct.
So as the day progresses, I'm going to direct your attention specifically to page 25 for purposes of the record. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if you could look at page 1 first, does that appear that text message conversation begins at roughly 3:50 a.m. on early Sunday morning, September 8th?
Yes, it does.
And continues obviously throughout the day. Look at page 25, which I
Separated.
also handed to you.
Yes.
What time on Sunday, September 8th, is that text message sent?
This text message is sent at 3:49 p.m.
So that would be roughly three or more hours after Kathy sent the text message that she would expose the defendant for the murder the year previously. The message that she sent the defendant.
Yes.
Now, if you could please read to the jury, what is it that Kathy texts her mom that pertains to the motive text?
Damn, the glasses now after reading. It says, "Tell Collin the recordings of him admitting to killing blank and planning the murder There are 4 from my Ring camera and are all going to Bob, Susie, Amanda, and Chris at 3 p.m. today, period. Plus the recorded audio from Blank's iCloud account where Collin told his dad he hated me and I was an evil bitch are being sent to. Dad is sending me his recordings of Collin telling him how he planned my murder back in February. Audio, video, email, text, and phone records are all being sent. For the record, no, you cannot have a single one. Your attorney can request them. So can Collin's. Good luck hiring one because the 751 clearly states I have to be medically incapable of caring for Collin, and I'm not. You can't keep him from me. You can't hide him. He can't allow him to stay at an empty house 3 hours away when he blew up my microwave. You complained about him. He threatened you in February, but all of a sudden you take him in, and I'm supposed to just let you steal my son. That's not how this works. Have your attorney call Eric Reyes on Monday so they can coordinate. I know you won't return Collin, and I know he is hiding because the car is not there at your house. I'm giving the police your number and DCF's your number now. They also have all 3 addresses. Also, your dog Freddie is not registered in Polk County with a dog tag. That's a fine. And you owe taxes on your other trailer you sold in the same neighborhood, and the HOA doesn't like you.
So is it a fair statement that Kathy told both the defendant and Kathy told her mom that she was aware of the way Collin had told Mr. Wangus he was going to murder her?
Yes.
So that wasn't just known by Robert Wangus, but Kathy knew that, correct?
Stand.
Is one of the last things that was heard on the Ring footage that Kathy was giving the defendant two options: either get in the car with her, or 3 options: get in the car with her, follow her in his own car, or she would call the police.
Objection, Judge. I think that's a mischaracterization. That was between her and Susan. That phone call.
Do you recall similar text message things about that?
Yes.
Now, I mentioned earlier about some of the photographs that would be attached to certain text messages that would be sent between Kathy and her mom and Kathy and the defendant. Going back to 188 to publish some of those photographs. Do you recall from yesterday, Detective Peters, the chores that the mom was unhappy with Collin not doing?
Yes.
Did Kathy end up doing the chores herself?
Yes, she did.
And did she send text messages to her son where she showed him how easy it was for her to complete the chores?
Yes, with photographs of the areas that she cleaned.
And it's now publishing for the jury's benefit from 188. Is that I don't know if it's a video or a screenshot of a video, but from the living room of her working?
Yes, that's a screenshot from the Ring camera in the living room.
That would have been on Saturday, 3:37, is that correct?
Yes.
After the defendant already left the house?
Yes.
Tell the jury about what Kathy's doing in her backyard there.
That's the backyard of their residence, and she appears to be rolling up some extension cord connected to what I would say is a weed eater.
And what day, time on Saturday, September 7th, did she do that?
6:20 p.m.
What can you tell us about that?
That's a Ring camera connected to the front of the residence. Appears she's taking out garbage.
What time on Saturday?
4:47 p.m.
What can you tell us about the time and what she's doing in that photograph, if you can tell?
Appears that she's cleaning like was observed in the video yesterday, and that's at 3:37 p.m. from the living room Ring camera.
And then a photo, what was in that, what subject matter was that in reference to?
That's the call log in reference to her attempting to contact Collin.
Now, of course, there's many pages of text messages. Does the subject matter stay pretty consistent between Kathy and Collin?
It does.
Now, finishing up with the Cellbrite report, going to 196, some of the photographs, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the attachments / photographs that were accompanied by text message that Kathy sent Susan. We'll begin with a certain one. What can you tell us about that, Detective Peters?
It appears to be a screenshot of a conversation between Catherine and Collin.
And help explain at the top of the screen, what does it say and whose phone would this be?
It says collin.griffith@icloud.com. That'd be Collin's phone.
And read to the jury, if you would, what the conversation between Kathy and her son was.
It says, Mom, I believe coming from Collin. She says, Collin, what's going on? He says, you told me to leave? She says, I told you to leave because you were scaring me. You hurt me, Collin. He writes, I'm not doing this with you. And then a continuing text message says, Collin, you need to stop before this gets way worse. If you don't come home soon, you're going to face charges, serious ones. Just stop. This same thing a year later. Why? You just have to stop, Collin.
Now this one, there's a little different icon at the top. Can you tell the jury what that is?
That's an icon of the defendant with his name underneath of it as a contact.
And what does this message say?
From where it starts is, you want to throw your, and I'm assuming that says life, away like this and hurt me. I'll let everyone see you for who you are. All the comments and admissions made on Ring camera. You choose Collin now. Respond that you will be home by 10 a.m. today. That's in 2.5 hours. Or don't respond and go back to court. You choose as always. And that's the last read you get at 7:28 a.m. Remember that you chose not to respond and instead just read the text.
Another photo of screenshots?
Screenshots appears to be a photograph, maybe of some court documents. And then the bottom says, you do not have my permission and you did not call Monique yesterday and notify her. You would be going, and it doesn't matter because you have to have my permission to, which you don't, and you've read my messages and called me and still refused to come home. Probation violations out the ass. You have until 10 a.m. That's it.
And then, what is that?
That is the phone log. That appears to be a screenshot of a voicemail.
And was the subject matter between Kathy sent to Susan, was it largely revolving around Kathy trying to get Collin to come back home?
Yes.
Did Kathy make any threats to Susan in the text message that she was going to do physical harm to Collin?
No.
If I may have a brief moment, Your Honor. I don't have any further questions right now, Your Honor.
Ross?
Judge, can we take our mid-afternoon break first? Thanks.
All right, folks, we'll take 15 minutes. Please leave your notepads in the chairs.
All right, please.
Be seated. Storm, across.
Yes, thank you. Detective Peters, I wanted to flesh out some of the things that you mentioned on your direct testimony. And that was included in the ring videos and the text messages.
Okay.
In the ring video from September 8th, where Kathy is talking about, and you know what he's doing at your house? This is with Susan. He's playing video games where he's murdering and torturing people. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And her conversation implied that she sent some screenshots of that video game to Susan to prove her point.
Yes.
Right? And you've looked through the phone downloads?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to approach and show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 1 and Defense Exhibit 2 and see if you recognize them.
Yes.
Okay. And do those appear to be the screenshots that accompanied the text regarding the video games that Collin was playing?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I believe Defense Exhibit 1 and 2.
Any objection to say it's your case right now?
Oh, well,
No, Judge, that's not.
I should have asked about doing things out of order.
They are received.
So this is Defense Exhibit 1. Taking the video. And do you know anything about this video game that's shown in the screenshot?
I do.
It's a Roblox game, correct?
Correct.
Rated for kids, like, as young
All
as
ages,
10,
up,
all
up to
ages.
adults play it.
Right. But it's not limited to, say, adults only because of its violent nature or anything.
Correct.
Okay. And I'll show what's been admitted as Defense Exhibit 2. Same video game.
Yes.
So not quite as Kathy described it.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to jump around a little bit. Going back to the house at 77 Hewlett Drive. You said that it did not appear that there had been a long, drawn-out fight throughout the house.
Correct.
But by the same token, if someone is being dragged throughout a house by their hair, wouldn't you expect they would be struggling against that?
Would I expect there to be struggling? Yes.
Unless they were going willingly with the person
Sure.
throughout the house. Right.
That's the other option, yes.
Right. So if somebody is being dragged unwillingly, and they are struggling, so let's assume that too,
Mhm.
you would expect items in the house to be disturbed.
Possibly.
The blood that was on the backpack that Kathy was seen wearing as she's leaving her house on September 8th. I want to talk a little bit about that. You do know that Collin's phone was found in his car,
Yes.
right? And the 911 call came from Kathy's phone, right?
Yes.
And that means that Collin had to use Kathy's phone to call 911
Yes.
because he was the caller.
Correct.
And it's possible that Kathy's phone was in her backpack, and that Collin had to go into the backpack to find the phone to be able to make the phone call to 911.
It's possible.
The Ring cameras, you said that there were cameras in the 5 different cameras, one in outdoor, one on the doorbell area.
Yes.
Right? Then one in the living room.
Correct.
One in the kitchen.
Correct.
And then one in each of Collin and Kathy's bedrooms.
Yes.
And the Ring videos we've seen are from the kitchen Ring video.
Yes.
Camera, rather. All right, so before we get to more about those Ring videos, you could hear Kathy tell Collin to get out and not come home, correct, on September 7th?
Yes.
And she told him not to come back even if he was bawling his eyes out, right?
Yes.
And she made him, or told him, to give her his house keys, right?
Give her keys.
Give her
Yes.
the house keys
Yes.
and leave them there.
Yes.
And then from the living room video camera, you can actually see her locking the door behind Collin after he goes outside, correct?
Yes.
So he would not have been able to get back in that locked door.
Unless there's another key outside that I'm not aware of.
The living room video, the living room camera actually faces towards the kitchen, so it's almost the same view, but from the opposite direction.
Right.
Okay. There was a point where Kathy was waving her hand in front of, it looked like the TV, but it would also have been in front of the Ring camera.
Yes.
Right before she says, and it's all being recorded on my Ring video.
Yes.
Okay. So she clearly knows how to make sure that some things are captured on that Ring camera.
Yes.
Now, the clips that were shown to the jury both yesterday and today, those aren't everything that happened from September 7th and September 8th, are they?
No.
I'll get to those in a minute. I'm sorry I'm not being very organized here, but before I get to those ring videos, I want to talk a little bit about the text messages. Okay, so this is sort of a different version of the text messages between Kathy and Collin. It's been marked as Defense Exhibit 3. I'm going to approach and see if you recognize it, just in a little bit more readable form. Thank you.
Yes, I recognize this. Yes.
And even though it's not my case, I'd like to admit into evidence Defense Exhibit 3.
Any objection?
No objection.
It is received.
All right. I'm going to talk about some of the things that Kathy told to Collin over text message. Okay, so can you see it on your monitor as well?
I can.
Okay, so
It's easier to read on this one.
on the bottom one from September 7th at 7:01 p.m., she talks about wanting him to return the cell phone and the MacBook that were purchased for his education. Then she said you don't have permission to be at work, which is a probation violation because you refused to do your chores for the day. Are you aware of any probation condition that required him to not be at work?
No.
Okay, so obviously not an accurate statement, right? Then she says you violated your probation by having physical contact with me. It implies that that happened right before he left, but there was no physical contact that you saw in any ring video that you've reviewed, right?
No.
I'm in fear for my safety and the safety of the vehicle which you took in, which is in my name. I am canceling the car insurance policy until you are 18. You may not drive the Jetta as long as my name is on the title insurance. So right there she's telling him it's illegal for him to drive his car, right?
Right.
But then she turns around and says, drive home right now or you're going to be in trouble.
Yes.
Do you know if she ever did cancel his insurance?
I do not have proof that she canceled his insurance, no.
Do you know anything about the title to the car, whose name it was in, anything like that?
I believe it was in Mom's name, and I think Collin's name was on it as well.
So both people's.
Yes.
You are being withdrawn from college as you have shown yourself to be capable of to be capable of taking care of chores around the house, and then she lists them. So she was going to prevent him from continuing his college education over chores. At least that's what she claimed.
It appears that way in text.
Okay, that was it on that one. Here it says that it's 8:28. I'm reporting the Jetta stolen. You can't drive the car without insurance and without parental consent. Do you know if she ever reported the Jetta stolen?
I don't have proof of that, no.
And was it even stolen?
No.
Because his name's on the title. And then she talks about communicating with Detective Lacey. You're aware that he had been communicating with Detective Lacey Zanoni and that she encouraged him to stay at Susan's house.
Yes, through text message.
And Kathy actually talked with Detective Lacey by phone on the 8th before she went to Auburndale, right?
Yes.
And Detective Zanoniani told her to stay home, you don't need to go up there, let Collin stay with Susan.
I don't know if it's those exact words, but something of that context, yes.
Then right here, Kathy is threatening to close his Bank of America account so he doesn't have access to, say, money to put gas in his car, right?
Well, I don't know the reason, but it is saying I am closing your bank account since it's tied to my name.
The top message talks about how Collin's probation paperwork says he cannot leave the county without her unless it's for school. There was a screenshot of the pink paper that we talked about that specifically says he can leave the county to visit his grandmother, Susan Detman, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware of the 751 plan that existed between Susan and Kathy where each could have custody of him and it would be perfectly legal?
Yes, I'm aware of it.
I'm going to approach and show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 6. 7, 8, and 9. You may not recognize them, but take a look.
Thank you. So this would be the 751. This is the first time I'm seeing it, but I'm aware of it. Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'd like to admit into evidence those exhibits I just mentioned. It's the signed paperwork filed with the Charlotte County Clerk of Court, so I think you could take judicial notice of them as well.
Any objection?
No objection.
They are received.
Okay, I'm going to publish them then. So the first document is a co-petition to establish temporary custody of minor children by extended family, and you would agree that it was signed and notarized by several people, right?
Yes.
Including Catherine Griffith and Susan Detman.
Correct.
The next document is entitled Agreement and Consent to a Petition under 751, also signed by Catherine Griffith and Susan Detman, along with attorney Jeffrey Rapkin.
Yes.
And that was Defense Exhibit 7. Defense Exhibit 9 is the acknowledgement of service of these documents signed by Catherine Griffith.
Yes.
Okay, and that was December 10th of 2023?
Yes.
And then the final document, which is Defense Exhibit 8, so out of order. It's an order granting the joint petition. Signed by Judge Mary Evans on, no, does it say? What was filed? I thought it said it on here.
I think it's under the signature.
Okay. It is. I can't read it.
January something of 2024, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. January in 2024. Okay, suffice it to say that everybody was on board with both Susan and Kathy being able to make decisions for Collin and have custody of him.
It appeared so, yes.
Oh, yes, the pink paper with the permission to be out of county to visit the grandmother. It says that we'll notify Monique. You're aware that Collin did, in fact, notify his probation officer by email
yes.
that he was going to Susan's.
Yes.
And it was a weekend, so she wouldn't have answered the phone at her
There
office.
wasn't a response.
And then Kathy says that she's going to call the police and send them. She did never call the police that you know of to send them to pick Collin up.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Then there's some texts about selling his car, and it's right here. Is that where it was? Okay, here we go, second one, where she claims she had gone up to Auburndale, tried to get into the community, the gates wouldn't let her in, she's at the dealership in Lakeland, all this elaborate explanation of how she's going to get rid of his car, but none of that was true either, was it?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Well, we see her on Ring Video at
Correct.
all hours up until mid to late afternoon on the 8th, right?
And that was at 10:54 a.m.
Here she talks about Epic Towing, so she even comes up with the name of a tow company that's going to go pick up the car, and a specific amount of time within which they'll be there. That wasn't true either, was it?
I don't have proof that she called a towing company, no.
Or that a towing company showed up
No.
in Auburndale.
I don't have proof of that, no.
So suffice it to say, a lot of the things that Kathy claimed were just simply untrue.
Incorrect, yeah.
Are you aware of some texts between Kathy and Collin in late August of 2024 where she tells him that she's feeling down again and is maybe going to go into a facility for a while?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to approach and show you what's been marked as defense exhibits 4 and 5.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Yes. Yes.
And they appear to be the text from Kathy to Collin?
Yes, it does.
I'd like to admit to evidence defense exhibit 4 and 5.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
They are received.
Publish them real quickly. So down here on 7/24, no, that's not the one. Oh, that was the one. So it wasn't a week or so before. It was over a month before. But she's telling her son, just so you know, I'm not doing so good. I just had a long conversation with my mom, and she was basically my mom. She told me that she has stage 3 cancer. She's in Georgia, and she's not going to help me with DVC. Do you know what DVC is? Is it Disney Vacation Club?
Oh, I know what that is, but I didn't know the abbreviation for it.
And that she could care less, and so in response I got really upset and quit my job. And sorry, so this was not related to her mental health. It was about her quitting her job. Are you aware that she actually quit her job or did not quit her job?
I'm not aware. I don't have proof she quit her job.
And then also on July 24th, Kathy talks about how she sold the house and that this story about how somebody's assumed the mortgage and she was going to move out. Any proof that any of that was true?
No, ma'am.
And on Defense Exhibit 5, she says that she spoke with Dr. Goldstein today, and Dr. Goldstein wanted Kathy to go to an inpatient facility for some time, and that she was thinking about doing that. So we were talking about Kathy communicating her mental health issues with her son.
Intensive therapy, it says, yes.
But inpatient for 72 hours or so.
Yes.
The Ring videos that were played, you already said they didn't include everything that happened that day. There are actually some parts that I wanted to see if you remember Collin and blaming him for cutting her hand.
Vaguely.
Okay.
I'd have to see it again.
Okay, well, that's what I'm hoping to do. Is this Defense Exhibit 10? Do you have any objection to it?
No, sir.
Judge, I'm going to publish
You're
this.
offering it?
Yes, I'm offering it into evidence. Defense Exhibit 10. It's a portion of Ring video from September 7th, 2024.
You have no objection.
I don't object, Your
It
Honor.
is received.
And I'm only going to play a portion of it because a lot of it duplicates what has already been shown.
Okay, definitely want Collin. Wow, I can't even open it. Collin, don't ever close my cups that fucking tight. I can't even get the fucking lid off. I just cut my hand. Jesus Christ. I'm a full-blown sweat from trying to open a fucking cup.
In that clip, does it appear that Kathy actually cut her hand?
Doesn't appear so.
And then finally, on September 8th, we saw a lot of clips of Kathy on the phone with a variety of people, right?
Yes.
Do you remember a portion that was left out of the exhibit that was already entered into evidence where Kathy says it's not about to be a threat, it's about to be real, shortly before she leaves the house?
I think that was played. I think that was played from the kitchen. There's two areas that you can get that same audio from, the living room and the kitchen. I think that was played.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play it again just in case.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is Defense Exhibit 11 from September 8th. I would like to offer it into evidence and just play a portion of it.
Any objection?
That's fine.
Just received, excuse me.
Thank you. 2130.
How he's better off at your house, where he's killing people, pretend, and making fun of it, and kidnapping them, and having them tied to little chairs while he tortures them and kills them with other people in this game story that happened. I sent you the pictures.
It's 2130. That's okay. That's good.
It's not about to be a threat, it's about to be real.
And I apologize if that had already been played.
Yeah, it was played on the other one.
Detective Peters, when you were shown pictures of Kathy and Collin on various trips, you said that they appeared happy. In some of these clips and in some of the text messages that the jury's seen today, Kathy appears quite angry, correct?
Yeah, she appears frustrated. Yeah, angry.
Angry? And it was in that state that she left her house and went to Auburndale against advice from several people, right?
I don't know who the several people are, but she did leave at that time to go to Auburndale, yes.
And she was yelling on her way out the door.
Yes.
But you're aware that several people told her not to go to Susan's house and to let Collin stay there.
Detective Lacey, yes.
And Susan.
Susan.
Yeah. So at least two people.
Yes.
But she ignored them.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions, I don't think. I could have one. Nothing else?
Redirect?
Nothing further, Judge.
The witness release?
Yes, sir.
For today.
All right. If you're needed back, you'll get a call.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Levine?
That will conclude the witnesses for today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for the weekend. Remember now to start to think about how you might decide the case. Again, we cannot talk about the case or anything up. Remember to be careful with the news. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday morning at 8:30.
All right, please.
Anything before the weekend recess?
No, Your Honor.
No, sir.
All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
You too.